You don't seemingly like your own character, so she comes off as an insufferable, whiny brat.
And if you disagree with this sentiment, I don't need your business. Thanks.
There's something wrong with her. She's disturbed, she's unhappy, and she thinks it's about feminism and the patriarchy and about abortion. But the reality is she's just not stable, like the majority of people in Hollywood. They're just not stable human beings.
Rachel Zegler is not having a good week, and South Park just turned her PR disaster into a full-blown inferno. In their latest episode, the creators didn't just poke fun at Disney's Snow White remake, they launched a full-on satirical assault. They tore into the film's so-called woke changes and even hinted that this movie might be better off shelved entirely. The message was loud, brutal, and clear. This isn't just another flop, it's a cultural punchline. And Rachel? She's spiraling again. If you thought her last meltdown was intense, buckle up. Let's unpack what South Park exposed and why critics say Disney finally reaped what it sowed. As of April 1st, the firestorm hasn't cooled. In fact, the wreckage is still smoldering. Disney's most recent numbers confirm the worst. This isn't a stumble, it's a nosedive. Rachel Zegler's inflated ego and relentless push for social commentary didn't just miss the mark. They detonated a box office curse. Instead of breathing new life into a beloved classic, she delivered Disney a poisoned apple. Her supposed star power didn't rouse the sleeping giant. It barely nudged it awake. And yet, Rachel and her inner circle, Ilda, Jorge, Remy, and Maria, showed up at the theater like it was a Hollywood premiere. They posed for photos, popcorn in hand, smiling like the cameras were flashing. Ilda hyped her up on Instagram like it was the final round of a high school talent show. But reality struck hard. The auditorium was empty.
So they pivoted. Cue the TikTok bit.
2 tickets, please, Rachel says in the video, standing proudly with Snow White merch like it's her golden ticket. The Regal employee, confused, replies, "For which movie?" Rachel's expression says it all. She's baffled that someone wouldn't recognize the Rachel Zegler, star of the show. Of course, it's Snow White. Who else would she be here to see? The camera cuts to matching popcorn buckets, Snow White branding, goofy poses. It's all supposed to feel triumphant. But it doesn't. It feels forced. What Rachel clearly thought would be a viral victory lap landed with a thud. Her main character energy came off not as iconic, but painfully cringeworthy. Now, that clip is getting mocked across social media. Users on X are calling it the perfect example of someone who thought she could outshine the original and missed by a mile. And to top it off, she's seen clutching a bouquet in a nearly empty theater, like she's just won an Oscar. But let's be honest, that was probably a pity gift. The box office certainly wasn't handing out applause. Let's not forget, this is the same actress who once declared, "People will wait in line to see my films despite my flaws."
But now?
The only lines forming are digital, and they're full of people roasting her film into oblivion. Even celebrities are chiming in. On March 31st, Sean Ono Lennon, yes, the son of John Lennon, called Rachel a disconnected brat. According to Yahoo, he wasn't surprised the film flopped. Few were. Sure, she boasts a $700 million career haul, thanks mostly to The Hunger Games. But even though this is her second highest grossing film, it doesn't feel like a win. If anything, it's a flashy reminder that her ego may be growing faster than her actual appeal. And the backlash? It's far from over. Online jabs like, "Welcome back to reality, princess," are flooding in, alongside GoFundMe jokes and memes mocking her career like it's in critical condition. Then there's Danica Patrick, the former race car driver turned political commentator. On March 30th, she reposted a video ridiculing Rachel and her film's collapse. Her caption? Just 2 words. Bye-bye.
Cold. Sharp.
Final. The clip she shared accused Rachel of peddling corporate feminism and turning every moment into a social justice spectacle. It even tossed in rumors that Disney quietly dropped her from major upcoming projects like Toy Story 5 and the Pirates of the Caribbean reboot. Whether that's true or not, the narrative stuck. And Danica? She reveled in the drama, especially since Rachel's been vocal against Trump. Megyn Kelly also joined the fray. On her show, She slammed Rachel for her arrogance and tone-deaf activism, suggesting that audiences aren't staying away because of politics, they're staying away because of her attitude. Her message? Rachel's ego is now outpacing her fanbase. Between TikTok mockery, celebrity jabs, and news anchors tearing into her on air, Rachel's facing a reputational collapse, and the numbers reflect that. Opening night previews? Just $3.5 million. The full opening weekend? A lackluster $43 million for a film that cost over $250 million to make. To compare, Dumbo did better with a smaller budget, and the live-action Little Mermaid pulled in $95 million in its debut. Add in marketing costs between $150 to $200 million and another $50 million in reshoots, and Disney needed this movie to rake in at least $450 million to break even. $1 billion was the goal, to turn a real profit. Instead, it opened with just $87 million worldwide. By April 1st, the global total sat at $142 million, according to Collider. But the real shock, the second weekend told the whole story. A devastating 66% drop, just $14 million at the box office. That's not a stumble, that's a free fall. Disney initially projected a $115 million loss. But industry whispers say the real number might be closer to $300 million once all the marketing spend, reshoots, and global underperformance are accounted for. This isn't just a flop. It's a financial and creative catastrophe. Behind the scenes, investors are undoubtedly rattled, scrambling for answers, demanding accountability. And in Disney's executive suites, there's likely panic, silent meetings, hushed blame, and a desperate hope that something, anything, can turn the tide. Let's not forget what Rachel Zegler boldly declared before the storm. "I hope people wait in line to see me." A confident line, but in hindsight, painfully ironic. At her movie premiere, the only thing queuing up was the silence, more tumbleweeds than ticket stubs. She didn't just bet on herself. She dared this film to fail. And fail it did. Rachel mocked the 1937 classic,